Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to the Reptile Barn. Gonna do a video on how we ship our snakes. We've got a shipment to send out in the morning, so I'm gonna prep the box tonight and bring you along on how we do that. So we do not buy the kits that you can get. They're fantastic if you've never shipped before and you're nervous, or if you just don't want to do the hassle of all of this. Those kits are great, like from Ship Your Reptiles, or there's other places that sell them. But we like to save a little bit of money by doing stuff ourselves, so we buy our boxes in bulk. They're the just reinforced cardboard shipping boxes, so it's a little stronger. We get our insulation at Home Depot. It's just I'll walk you through the process. Anyways, so I'm gonna start putting the box together, and I'll take you through what we do. So, funny story, I once put a box together, taped it all up, put the snake in it, and closed it, and as I was picking up the box to go out the door, it popped open, and I panicked. Why did this pop open? The tape just came unstuck. So now, I always do 2 layers of tape. Alright, here's our insulation. We just buy it in the big 4x8 foot sheets at like Home Depot or Lowe's, and then we cut it up ourselves. It's a lot cheaper than buying the the pre-cut stuff online from Reptile people. We also use inch thick instead of ½ inch. I know lots of people use ½ inch and a lot of people use 3/4 inch. We use a full inch of thickness. It's just a little more peace of mind for me, since we're shipping in cold weather so frequently. I'm just lining the whole thing, the bottom, the sides. I'll show you when I've got it all together here. You just gotta cut it right so that you can wedge it in, so it'll kind of hold itself together. So you see, you line it up, so this one's coming all the way down, and this one, and this one, and this one. I mean, I can flip it upside down and shake it, and nothing's coming out. So it's pretty solid. Don't have to tape it or anything. Obviously, once the snake is in there, the top piece will go on, but we don't do that till the morning. So, next thing, I'm going to pop an air hole. That wasn't the best thing to use, but it did it. We just use crumpled newspaper as our padding. My dad still reads the newspaper every day, so we just take it when he's done. So there are a few labeling things to consider. These we print from the Ship Your Reptiles website. It's just to label the species and the Latin name of the species and how many of them there are. So we stick this on the outside of the box. We'll go ahead and fill this out real quick. We're just shipping 1 ball python. That's Python regius. See that? I don't have my scissors, so I'll just rip this out. Then, I'm just going to put a bunch of arrows pointing up on the box so that people know to be careful with it. I'm also going to write in nice big letters, live, harmless Reptile. So, see the box there. When it's time to ship the package, the very first thing that should be visible when you open up the lid of the box should be something like this. Hopefully your printer is doing better than my printer, but that's okay. It's legible. Just again, it says live reptile secure packaging inside. It's just to let, if it were to be inspected by somebody, that has to be visible first, otherwise I can get in trouble. Technically, I think they can confiscate the animal if that's not there. I don't know that they would, but they could. Alright, I'm going to label the bag that the snake will go in. There's a male mystic that we're sending out tomorrow. I will not show you the shipping label. I don't want to give out any personal information, and I will fold it so that it's smaller, and then once I've got the snake in and we close it up, I will tape the shipping label on top. The only other thing to go over is the heat pack. So you'll notice this is a 72-hour heat pack. That is not industry standard. The 40-hour heat packs are industry standard, and for most of you, that's actually what I would recommend. However, being in Alaska, we ship in cold weather frequently, and the heat packs are absolutely necessary to keep the ball python safe, or whatever reptile, right? And we have had shipments delay. When we send them out, they route through one of two places. They go through the main Memphis hub, or some of them go through the Indianapolis hub, the FedEx major hubs, right, in the United States. Occasionally, not super often, but it does happen, they will delay in one of those two major hubs and not get sent out the next morning to whatever the destination is. So in that situation, a 40-hour heat pack makes me nervous, and it's happened enough times that I use the 72-hour heat packs. I know that that's not what most people use, although obviously people doing international shipments are using 72-hour heat packs, but most of the time domestic shipments are just the 40-hour. We use the 72-hour. We've had great success with it. The few times that a shipment has delayed, the snake has arrived perfectly safe and healthy with no problems, so I like that the heat pack does not run out of heat if it takes a second day, right? That's why I use that. Basically, I will tape, once in the morning, right, I will open the heat pack, I will tape it to the bottom of the lid of the insulation, and that will sit down on top so that it will be inside the package with the snake. However, I always put the snake to one side inside the box, kind of wedge it in with newspaper, and then the heat pack is taped to the other side of the lid, if that makes sense, because while this is certainly not going to raise the air temperature in the box to unsafe levels, the actual surface of the heat pack is really, really warm. You don't want the snake in actual physical contact with the heat pack, or it could overheat, right? That's the logic behind that. So I'll tape that on in the morning, close it up, and we'll put the snake in the bag and tie it off. But that's the process. It's not super complicated, especially if you go through one of these secondary shipping sources like Ship Your Reptiles, Reptile Express. There's some really good ones. When we first started shipping, it was nerve-wracking. You know, especially if something delayed or anything like that. We were so nervous, but we have gotten much more confident in shipping. We've now shipped, I'm looking at my wife behind the camera here, a lot. 150 snakes or something like that since we started. So certainly
more than that.
Certainly nothing like the major breeders, but we've shipped enough times that we're familiar with the process. We know who to talk to if something were to go wrong, and it's been great. So obviously, we would prefer if every single sale were local, so we could just hand off the snake, right? But that's not reasonable or realistic. So this is the way we have found that works for us to ship. It's really inexpensive. These boxes, when we buy them in bulk, it comes out to what, 9 cents a box or something.
Something like
and
that.
then we buy a big 4-foot by 8-foot panel of insulation for
17 bucks at Home Depot.
$17, and then we cut enough from one panel for, I don't know, 15 shipments or something. So
Yeah.
it's really not super expensive the way we do it. The heat packs aren't very expensive. The newspaper is just being recycled from my dad. So it works for us. If you have any questions, please let us know. If you think that there is an improvement to make, please let us know. We're always looking to improve our process. And that's that. So we will get this snake off in the morning. Thank you for watching. Till next time, we're the Reptile Barn.